What's up, everybody? Welcome to Serie Addicts. Marco Romano with Tito Yang here
Yes,
to give
sir.
you the match day recap. Match day 30 of the Serie A, the Dirty 30. Very interesting matches, and it's heating up at the top of the Serie A table.
Absolutely.
Couple of surprises, a couple of good games, a couple of ass whoopings. We'll talk about everything. We'll also give a preview of Italy's national team and the playoffs that they have coming up, the qualifier for the World Cup against Ireland. What our thoughts on the squad, especially not only the squad and the players that they're taking over there, but some of them dealing with some injuries. It's going to be interesting. We'll talk a little bit about that. Very interesting match day in the Serie A. Again, it's things are getting interesting at the top of the table. Inter no longer the runaway favorites, still the favorites, but no longer the runaway favorites. I would say at the top of the table, have taken a couple of stumbles. We'll talk about that and some of the other teams that are catching up to Inter and continuing to battle for those Champions League spots. Starting off with Napoli, who kicked things off on Friday against Cagliari. Not
Yep.
surprising that the defending champions were able to walk away with the victory. We talked on the previous episode how they're starting to get some of their key players back from injury.
But it wasn't as
Obviously,
easy as
that's
they thought it was gonna be. McTominay got them on board like very early, but then the rest of the match was a little bit tight.
which was surprising because you would think that they would, at least in my side, I thought that they would put a few past Cagliari
Same.
and get an easy victory. But it's always how it works out at the end of the season, right? There's no easy matches. Teams are fighting for something. If it's not to avoid getting relegated, right? Playing for a European spot, or to potentially contend for the title. So any game at this point of the Serie A is dangerous. No opponent, you can't take any opponent for granted. And some of the results this weekend show that. At the very least, Napoli were able to walk away with all 3 points, but Cagliari also had a couple of chances that they unfortunately weren't able to put on the back of the net.
Yeah, that's right. Even though some of their players, tried as much as they could, but it was actually a good game by McTominay. But I didn't think that Napoli had any other players, apart from maybe De Bruyne, who put in a couple of good passes and stuff, and maybe Belkema. But everybody else was just playing under what we expect from Napoli. And I know Cagliari is a tough piazza, kind of like to go to and play. Uh, but Napoli's got to do better with almost 70% possession. You know what I mean? It's just like Cagliari didn't have a single shot on goal in the whole game, and Napoli only managed to squeak that out 1-0, which is kind of a similar problem to what other big teams have sometimes. But Napoli's defending champions, and honestly, if they're not gonna play like it, I don't think their Champions League position is at risk at this point because they got 8 points on Juve. But you know, it's I expect Napoli to do a lot better against a team like Cagliari. Honestly,
I don't know. I think they just didn't play well. 17 shots, four on target. Right? Obviously, not the best ratio.
yeah,
But good to see players like De Bruyne back on the pitch. His Napoli for me this season is going to be the what if, right? What if they didn't have as many injuries for key players as they did, right? If they
yeah, they
would have
could have been
had
different.
De Bruyne, Anguissa, Lukaku, right, even Neres available for the entire season. The way things are looking now, more than likely Napoli, everybody would be chasing Napoli right now.
Yeah, 100%.
But it's surprising, right? Again, I thought they would get a couple of goals past Cagliari, but they get the result. Typical Conte fashion, right? 1-0 at least, right? Clean sheet as well. Cagliari wasn't a big threat for them on the other side of the pitch. So hopefully it's just a little bit of drought and they can get it together to make a good run, which I feel that Napoli definitely will have a good run here for to finish the season.
Yeah, and that the defeat puts Cagliari only 3 points away from the relegation zone, so that's something that they have to look out for now. Another defeat and a win by Lecce could put them in the 18th spot. So Cagliari is not like they don't have anything to play for, right? Like They played this game like they're trying to stay away from the relegation zone at least. Like they parked the bus, even though it didn't work in the end, but they almost pulled it off.
It's gonna be tough again. It's gonna be tough matches from here on out toward the end of the season because these teams are fighting for their lives. Napoli fighting for the a Champions League spot pretty much, but they're still in contention, right, for the title. Still
Yeah.
24 points up for grabs, so
And you know what
anything can happen.
another crazy thing is right now is that from position, I would say from position 13, you could even argue from position 12. From all the way from position 13 to 18, there's only 6 points separating those teams. So anyone, Genoa, Torino, Cagliari, Fiorentina, Cremonese, and Lecce are all fighting out for that last relegation spot. So every single match from now to the end of the season for all of these teams that I just mentioned is going to be critical and crucial, which that's what we want to see in these types of seasons, right? Like it was very boring when Juve won for like 9 years in a row and nobody else could win. But now we're seeing like all these races at the top and
It's
races at
boring,
the
but
middle.
you guys bring it up all the time. We get it. We get it.
Yeah, I mean, there was a time when no other team was capable of competing and it got boring. Now it's very exciting, very interesting. We could do a show about it. Otherwise, the show would have been we kick ass and it would just been me in a Juve
And it would be the Como,
shirt.
and it would be a show about Como for sure. If that was the name of the show, it would
Yeah.
be a show about Como.
Yeah, I mean, things have changed now, I guess, crazy. But yeah, but it's a very interesting race at the bottom at this point.
Interesting race at the bottom and at the top of the Serie A. Again, good win for Napoli. Job done. 3 points
Yeah,
for the squad and Conte. On to the next one. We had a good battle, and this was a good game. Genoa Udinese, two teams that have been playing well.
yeah,
Again, big fan of Genoa since De Rossi took the reins over there, but Udinese, very physical team.
playing away.
Uh,
Hmm.
I thought if they could have shown this consistency throughout the season, I think they would be in a way better spot. But definitely a
Yeah,
squad that has some potential and sitting at the 11th spot with a chance to potentially get to like eighth or seventh, depending if they can make a run or
yeah.
not. But they've been playing well, and surprisingly for me, they were able to come away with the victory against Genoa because I felt Genoa were in better form coming into this match.
Yeah, I think the problem with Udinese, like, it's just that they're gonna win this match and then they're gonna go drop the next two against like very easy opponents. That's how they played
Probably,
this season.
yeah.
Eklenkamp and Davis, though, are two names that have been showing up throughout the entire season, and I doubt very much that either one of those players are gonna stay at Udinese for next season. I feel like a lot of teams are gonna come try to get those two players right there.
Hopefully, they can stay a little bit longer and continue to develop. Right, we want to see that for we talked about it for Como
Yeah,
and a couple of other squads. It
but
would
it's
be good
hard.
to keep this group on for a while, especially Zaniolo, who is back. Right, great assist for him on this one. Um, on that header from Julinka. Great assist from Zaniolo. Great to see him. Was it Julinka or yeah? Davis scored at the 96th
Davis, he
minute.
was the 96.
But Saniolo, right, finally getting some consistency. He's always been injured. He's been like a Dybala style player. It's just awesome, but can never stay healthy.
Yeah.
And then Davis to seal things for Udinese. And I've talked about him, right? I think he has the perfect like skill set and like body shape for a big physical striker in number nine. And he's starting to show some consistency. So he's going to be another one that's going to be interesting to see what happens with him.
Yeah. And Udinese are still good at spotting these types of talents. I think it's very impressive how they could keep doing this, like, year after
Which they
year, they're
used to
going to
be
come up with a
amazing back
player.
in like the 90s,
Yeah. Yeah. They were playing
early
in Europe and
2000s. They
everything.
used to be amazing. Then it was Atalanta who kind of took the reign
Correct.
for a
Yeah.
while. I would say for the past like decade, they've been the better team in Italy as far as
producing
spotting
players.
and acquiring young players and kind of developing them
Yeah,
at
I agree.
Atalanta. So props to them, and right, it wasn't just the Gasperini era. They've been doing it for a while.
Yeah, they've been very consistent.
But Udinese, surprising with the victory on this one. Let's now see, to your point, if they can continue or if they play those the next two match days and just drop the ball and drop 6 points and drop a couple of spots on the table.
Yeah,
Then we had another struggling team, another team that came in strong but has been struggling as of late. Cremonese going against Parma, finally turning things around
crucial win.
with Male getting the first goal in the 54th minute,
Yeah.
and then Van de Put getting the second one for Cremonese in the 68th. But they have been on a streak where I can't even remember the last time that they won a game, honestly.
Yeah, Cremonese had impressed at the beginning, with with some really good results against unexpected opponents, right? Like the people that you wouldn't expect them to get points against. But they kind of fell off completely, and now finally we see them with a little bit of a resurgence in the right time at the right moment, because if they didn't win this game, they would have been in the 18th spot. Right now they got a goal advantage difference against I think Lecce. Maybe I think no, they scored more goals is why, like they're above them. So yeah, Cremonese and Lecce are almost identical in terms of records and goals scored and against. So Cremonese needs to get points down on the board right now, because Lecce are gonna try to do anything they can do to survive. I think Verona and Pisa at this point, we could safely say, are not gonna make it out of the relegation zone. They are 9 points behind all these other teams that are fighting. So I don't know. Cremonese, out of the teams that are left, I think Lecce would be the most logical one to go down, right? But also Cremonese are still in the discussion. So big, big, big win for them against Parma, who have been a team that's been very difficult to beat this season, and tricky team just because of the way they play. They have Cuesta like that manager, and he also a little bit kind of like Fabregas. He wants to play like a Spanish type style of football here in Italy. So also interesting footballing
No, maybe,
experiment.
maybe with more time, because not only they get the victory, but two great goals on this one, especially that Male goal, the first goal.
Mm,
Probably a contender for goal of the season. Just a freaking rocket doing his best Chalanoglu impression on that one.
yeah.
Had to see it a couple of times because I'm still puzzled because it kind of defies laws of physics. But if anybody could explain it to us, let us know. But that was an amazing goal.
Yeah.
Great victory for Cremonese. Finally, let's hope trending in the right direction. But just one win, right? I'm still hesitant, right, to say that they're trending up, but hopefully, right, this is the spark that
Yeah.
starts that redirection and getting back on the path that they were earlier this season. But two great goals. The squad looked motivated and pumped, so hopefully they can make a good run. So at least they avoid getting relegated back to Serie B.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, and then we had Milan Torino was the next match. That was a good match, actually. It's a pretty good
Yeah,
match.
very back and forth. I was not expecting it
Yeah,
to
very
be that way
exciting.
for sure. I thought it was going to be very low, probably a 1 or 2 nil victory for Milan. But
Yeah.
props to Torino for making it a match. Unlucky with some calls as well, but this is
Yeah, but
uh,
honestly, apart from the
probably the most entertaining match
apart
this
from
week.
the calls, bro, like in the first half it was very tight, but the second half it was like Milan just came out of the dressing room and they were like on fire, because they scored in the 54th and then in the 56th, and it was like just kind of like one after the other. Like Torino didn't know what hit them, and they were able to claw one back in the 83rd with a penalty. But the way Milan came out like after the break, you have to assume that Allegri was taking his jacket off in the locker room or something and yelling at him.
Probably Allegri's not one, or Allegri teams don't concede a lot of goals. That's why I was surprised on this one that Torino were able to get two
Yeah,
past Milan.
it's a good goal by
But
Simeone,
you
but
could tell that Milan just rose to the occasion, right? They knew they needed the goals,
yeah,
and probably Allegri lit a fire under them during halftime,
yeah.
and they came out with a vengeance. And they
Rabiot
were
makes
just
a big
missing
difference,
that. They
bro.
were creating opportunities, dominating possession. It's just struggling to find that last pass, that last touch that frees a little bit of space for one of your key players to put it in the back of the net.
Yeah, I think Rabiot makes a big difference in that team. Like, and in the second half, in those two goals, he was pretty massive. Like, he's a presence. You know what I mean? Like when you have him in the midfield, he covers a lot of space, and he's like a big dude who can also
Big
shoot
as
from
hell, box to
outside.
box.
Oof, he's a
Probably
threat,
one
man.
one of the best box to box players in Serie A, hands down.
Yeah, and Juve just let him go like that. Oh my god, man! And we had the best. We
Like,
had the stupidest
if
management.
you would have kept Tudor, you probably like who knows where you would be sitting right now, and you probably would have been looking to get rid of McKenny.
Well, I mean, the thing is that regardless of the manager, it's just the back office that's messing everything up.
Hey, but good job from the other team in Milano, coming away with the victory on this one, and props to Torino for making it a good and entertaining match. Now Milan with a on just 6 points under Inter in the second spot,
Yeah,
but again, still 24 points up for grab. Inter have some important matches coming up. Same for Milan.
to championship now.
So game on.
Yeah, you know what? Also, game on. Torino is only 6 points above Lecce in the relegation battle. So Torino also need to get their S together if they want to
But they're
stay
they're
in Serie
playing
A.
better. I think
Yeah,
since they finally have their what they thought was gonna be their pairing up front from the beginning of the season, but then Zapata goes down with an injury, right? Even Simeone hasn't been playing throughout the entire season. So finally having those two back up front, I think that's the reason why we were able to make it a game
yep,
against Milan,
yep,
because those two are fairly good uh, strikers up front and are both proven to be able to be successful and productive in Serie A.
yeah.
So hopefully they can make a run and avoid relegation. But it's crazy that there's so many teams that have to be very careful, or they can easily go down to Serie B next season. It's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. It's just, it's the kind of league you want to see though. Like because every game is exciting. Like every team is playing for everything in every game, which is amazing. I really like it. Every game, you feel that tension from the players. Like you feel it when a key player, has to step up and shoot a penalty. You know whether he's gonna be like a great player or shit his pants and just throw it at the goalkeeper
And become a club legend, or
or become Locatelli.
damn, damn. But yeah, but for me, I think Pisa and Verona are definitely going down. I think
Yes,
it's
I agree.
there's one spot open for another team and another club to go down to Serie B, but I think Verona and Pisa are
Yeah.
kind of
I
locked
I
right
I
now.
kind of feel like that team is gonna be Lecce, but you never know. It's
Mm.
actually, it's actually six teams that are in a position to end up in that spot right now.
Yeah.
Realistically, right? I would say Parma has 7 points above the relegation zone. They're still kind of in the running, but the way Parma have been playing, I would bet that they would stay up. Like if I had to
Yeah.
pick some teams that are not gonna get relegated. I would still put Fiorentina in that category. Torino definitely. Genoa is not going down, and Parma is not going down. Everybody else, you better tighten your bootstraps.
Hmm. Let's see, 24 points up for grab. Anything can happen, but
True.
Verona and Pisa, I think, are one foot in the grave.
Yeah, there's no room for slumps now.
And not that it's a great segue, but that brings us to our next match of the day, of the match day 30th, which is Juve and Sassuolo.
Oh
Uh,
boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh
one
boy.
one draw on this
Listen.
one.
Listen. How to throw away a possible Champions League qualification? Like you get a penalty and you make Locatelli kick it. Like you have two strikers on the pitch, two people whose job it is to shoot and put the ball in the back of the net, and you shoot with your midfielder who half of the time when he goes to shoot the ball ends up in the third row of the fans. That's who you want shooting right now. I cannot. I don't want to look at him anymore. And now I see they picked him for the Italian squad, and people are like, well,
Oh,
he's
he's gonna play for sure, dude. And then with Tonali being injured, he's gonna play. He's gonna play.
people were like, oh well, he scored the penalty last year to get us to the Champions League. Yeah. Anybody would have scored that stupid penalty. Just because he did that last year doesn't mean he's good now. That's that's the problem I keep having with people. So
But
analyzing this game,
what's the chain when it comes to taking PKs at Juve? Because I know at Inter it's Chalanoglu, and if Chalanoglu's not there, if Zielinski's on the pitch, he's probably gonna be Zielinski. If not, it's gonna be Lautaro.
but you have actual good penalty takers, like proven good penalty takers.
I don't know
Typically,
about that.
At Juve, the penalties were taken by Vlahovic. That was our penalty taker, right? He had a couple of rough penalties, and then Yildiz has taken penalties. Yildiz is really good at them, but he took
And
one.
scored an amazing goal in this one as well for Juve.
Yeah, and but he took
Which
one.
maybe after seeing that, that he would have been a good option.
He took one a while back, hit the post, like he missed, and maybe his confidence wasn't the same after that. But like honestly, anybody but Locatelli, you know how inconsistent he is. He could score a penalty if the goalkeeper goes the wrong way, but you saw where he shot that.
Which was the only way that he was gonna score that.
Exactly, that's the thing. You can't shoot a
Because
penalty,
it didn't have any pace.
no pace. It was right in the middle,
It
almost.
it's right in the middle, right,
Yeah,
a little bit to the left side of the keeper, but that's
yeah,
it. Soft
yeah.
as hell.
Soft as
It
hell.
was like a grounder to shortstop.
It was a terrible penalty, and that's who you. That's the problem. That's the captain. They have to get rid of that guy because I feel like he's a problem. He's a problem because now you made him captain, so now he has to play, and like we honestly don't have another regista on the squad. We don't. So play without one. God damn it! Like why do you need a regista? Just play with a four-man midfield, like we used to do back in the 90s and early 2000s. Just play a 4-4-2, damn it. Like why do we need a stupid ass regista who can't play at that level? So why do we need a regista? Why we don't have one? Then find a way to play where you don't use one, right? Just that's the only thing that you can actually do because guess what?
You would think that
Sometimes
that's what a manager is supposed to do, like
right?
figure it out with the players that you have
Exactly.
in your roster.
Exactly. Like, okay, we don't have a regista. We don't have that guy that can create from in front of the defense. Okay, let me just shove two defensive midfielders in front of my defense and then have a number 10 play in front of them and then he can create. That's what you do if you're a manager. Like you figure it out. It's like we don't have a guy who's good enough to hold down the midfield from that position. Like he's just not good enough. So put Turam and put McKenny in front of right in front of the defense, like just in front of them, and then just have
Mm.
somebody else like play a 10, like Zegrova or even that idiot Cope
McKenny.
Miners,
You
Miretti,
put McKenny.
McKenny. Yeah, but if you use the problem is you can't do that with McKenny because you don't have another defensive midfielder. That's U.S. problem too. If you had Turam and another Turam, you could do that. But the only other player who could play defensive mid at Juve right now is McKenny. That's our problem. Cope Miners is too slow to play defensive mid. We've seen that, and he's not really that good at playing offensive mid either. Like he could only play if we play with a Mezzala, and we don't. So again, that's it's just he doesn't have the right players. Like anybody could tell, Miretti's playing out of position. Miner's playing out of position. The only player who's playing in his position is Turam. And Locatelli is not playing in his position because he can't be a regista. He'll be a great mezzala, but you don't have a regista, so you can't play with two mezzalas because you need a regista and two mezzalas. Otherwise you can't play that system either, which is what Conte used to do with Pirlo regista, Marquisio Vidal mezzalas, right? Like that's how you play that three-man midfield. You can't do that if you have that shit type of player like Locatelli who can't hold the midfield. Like you need an actual baller, somebody's good with it, like somebody can actually, like you guys have, like actual midfielders, not like Locatelli. Locatelli is as good as Frattesi. They come from the same place. They used to play together at Sassuolo, and they were a great mid-table midfield. But when they go to the larger teams, they cannot
Yeah,
perform
not consistent, at
consistently.
least.
They can have 1, 2 good games.
As Fratesi, I'll say it. Like he can complain all he wants, but he's gotten opportunities, he's
He's
gotten
not
minutes, and he
consistent. He's not consistent.
doesn't
And
doesn't score,
Locatelli
doesn't
is
do a whole lot.
not consistent. He's gotten chances. He's not consistent. There's a reason why he wasn't playing in the national team. Like he was available. He was healthy. He was already at Juve, and he wasn't being called up. Managers know. Everybody knows. The only people who try to polish this turd is Juve and Juventus management and the whole press around Juve because they don't want to lose access, right? So they're afraid to say the reality, and then that's why they're afraid to criticize Locatelli because they don't want to lose access. But Locatelli's a shit player. He shouldn't play at Juve at all. Like he should play at Udinese or
You
like
don't
a
mean
smaller
that,
team.
bro. We need you to play well for Italy on Thursday
He's
because he's
not gonna
definitely
play
gonna
well
play.
for Italy. He's gonna suck, and then Italy's gonna lose, and we're gonna lose to. If we
Typical
played, if
Italian
this playoff
fans.
was against the Virgin Islands, if we play with Locatelli in the midfield, we would lose to the Virgin Islands. It's not against the Virgin Islands. It's against a way stronger team than the Virgin Islands. And if we Locatelli's playing, we're going home. I'm telling you right now, he is not Juve quality. He might be. He's a nice guy. He's a nice
We'll
person.
talk. We'll talk about it, right, when we talk about the preview later.
Yeah,
Who we think is gonna
I
start,
just feel
but
he's terrible. Not because
is
he
it?
missed the
I
penalty.
have to say, right, what I can say because I know, right, because
Anybody can
you
miss a penalty.
you deal with it. Have to deal with it a lot more. For me, can say it was a terrible pen. Right? Great goal
But
from
anybody
Yildiz.
can miss that.
I think if good that Vlahovic at least came back and got a little bit of time on the pitch, but again, like moving forward, if you have somebody like Yildiz, if you have Vlahovic on the pitch, they should be taking the pen,
Yeah.
not freaking Locatelli.
Why is the midfielder
Uh,
shooting? Jeez.
cost cost 2 points. Hopefully, nothing more than that. Gotta see how things continue to play out, but definitely a missed opportunity for Juve to
You know
walk
what the
away with all
problem
three
is,
points
bro?
on this one.
The problem is it makes it a two-match. It makes it a two-match deficit because even if the distance is only 3 points, we lose the tiebreaker against Como because they beat us. So it makes it a two-match deficit. Como have to lose one and draw one. Otherwise, we're out. And Como's playing only little teams now.
And speaking of Como, because they're the next match
Yeah,
for
actually.
match day 30, and it was a
A
spanking,
spanking.
an ass whooping
That's how you play
by Como,
when the
who
championship
probably are
is
the
on the line.
most informed team right now in the
Yeah.
Serie A as well.
That's how you play when the championship is on the line. You score 5 against a small team. Juve plays.
Five different players as well, which
Yeah.
is again continues to impress with Como that they're just getting goals from everywhere on the
Listen,
pitch.
Malco. Like I'm gonna say this as a Juve fan. Como deserved to go to the Champions League. We should not. We should stay home, figure our shit out. You know what I mean? It's like you as like the people who want to go out to the party but they haven't done
But
their homework. It's
it's
like
money.
you haven't done your homework yet. You can't think about the party. You like get your shit together first. It's just Como should go to this party because this is how they play. Look, Diao, Duvicas, Baturina, Path, and Perrone. Everybody scores. Everybody.
It's a party. It was a
The
party.
manager
It was a
wanted to
party.
come in and
Party
score.
by the lake. Everybody was invited, and unfortunately, Pisa was invited to this one and got their ass.
They should go to the Champions League. That's who should represent Italy. They play better than Juve. Juve should not be going anywhere until we get an actual regista or we change our freaking system. It is what it
But
is.
you have to wait and see, right? Because this Como will more than likely not be the same Como that we see starting next season,
Well, if they make
right?
it to the
Again,
Champions League, they might be a better Como, the way their management handles things.
now, I'm saying that they may lose some players, right? That they have players that are on loan at Como,
That's true.
right? Nico Paz and a bunch of other players may not be there moving into next season. Will they invest more in the transfer market if they qualify? Absolutely. Do
Okay,
they have the pull to bring those types of the players that they would need to compete in
but
the Champions League? Is another thing.
let me, yeah, that's a very, very valid point. But let me pose this scenario though. Como qualifies to the Champions League. Now, some of these players they have on loan, they have increased the value of these players at Como because Como have been playing them
No,
regularly.
absolutely.
Versus at other
Yep.
teams they wouldn't have played. Now, if you're a team who's loaning a player to Como, and that player just increased in value because Como played in Serie A, how much is he gonna increase if he plays for Como in the Champions League now? Now let's say you don't make it to the Champions League, but you loan the player to Como, and he's gonna play in the Champions League. Now his value is gonna be way higher now if he does well, right? So even qualifying to the Champions League even changes the way that teams that loan players to you are gonna reason about whether it's worth to just keep them there, because now it's the Champions League that my loanee is playing in, right? Even Real Madrid, if they're gonna bring Nico Paz back and they're gonna to have him sit on the bench versus having him
That's
versus
the thing,
having
dude.
him
They got so
start
many options because
start
who's he, who's
every
he, who's
match.
he who's he starting for? Bellingham. Bellingham. Is he starting for Valverde?
Arda Guler probably, like, but Arda
Arda
Guler's
Güler is
gonna
freaking
play.
amazing.
Yeah, he's gonna play, bro. That's what I mean. Like,
That's what I'm saying. That you go from being the star who just like potentially took your
I
your
don't.
t- your club to the Champions League to go sit on the bench and be just get lost in the shuffle at Madrid. That's the unfortunate part about it, right?
He
Because
doesn't.
I
He doesn't have a
feel
say. It's the team's decision.
the thing is,
That's the unfortunate
if
thing.
if he gets time at Madrid, he'll if he does it in Serie A, he could do it in
Oh, he's gonna be great.
surrounded by better players
Yeah,
at
yeah, yeah.
Madrid.
He's gonna be great, and he's got the look that Madrid like. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Madrid bring him in and sell Guler. You know what I mean? Because he's just an ugly Turk. That's what I mean. They like pretty boys in Madrid. You know what I
Straight
mean?
swap.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens. I know that for Inter they keep dreaming, but that ship sailed
Yeah.
long ago.
That
They
said, I
have
mean,
no
no,
shot.
nothing against Turkish people. Obviously, we love them here in this podcast. Both our teams have amazing Turkish players, and ours is particularly
Yes, it is.
beautiful looking as well. He could be on a cover of some boy band magazines.
I do not have an opinion around any of that, but
This is
but we
a
do have
complete
a
star.
Turkish player at
Yeah,
Inter Milan who's pretty amazing as well.
pretty good.
But let's see. We gotta wait and see what happens with Como moving into next season. How they finish this season. If they do qualify for the Champions League, they're still in contention for the Coppa Italia. Still have the second leg coming up against Inter. Right, tied 0-0 on that first matchup. Just
Oh, now that's gonna be
both
interesting now.
teams on autopilot, but should make for a very interesting second leg for sure. Which again, something else for Inter to worry about as they continue to drop points in the Serie A and making it more of a challenge for them moving forward.
Man, I thought
But
this
great
was
for
done
Como.
and dusted, but Inter, I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on. Especially,
Como's gonna be the no, no.
nah, that's insane though.
But it would be amazing if Como can qualify for the Champions League.
True. True, they
That would
deserve
be
it. I think
pretty
they
amazing.
deserve
That would
it.
be a pretty big story for the season.
Yeah, I think it's
And we
deserved.
had
Atalanta.
Atalanta playing against Hellas Verona, a team that's definitely at this point.
Gone.
95% sure they're going down to the Serie B.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for the lads, Zappacosta, the veteran on this one, scoring the only goal for Atalanta, an Atalanta team that continues to be kind of all over the place. Have been definitely playing better, but again, I had him at least the way Verona has been playing, at least them getting three or four
Yeah.
on them. So very surprised to see just one lonely goal on this one.
Yeah. Hey, but Atalanta gets themselves 4 points away from European football with this win. So Juve dropping points and Roma.
They've been sneaky. I think they've only lost once since the beginning of the year, so they've turned it around for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I think that management change was everything they needed there.
That was key.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could see that they started playing better. Some of the players that have gone faded into darkness started like showing their skills again, like
Mm-hmm.
Scamacca.
Yeah.
Scamacca getting the call up for the national team as well, and good because he's been playing awesome. And
Spalladino's
who,
done a
who
great
that
job at that team.
who the fuck
Definitely.
knows what Retegi's doing in like some sand dunes over there right now. Hopefully he's safe. I say
Yeah.
that
Yeah, exactly. Because, I
as well.
mean,
Hopefully he's
there's
safe
like
and
rockets
can
falling
travel
down right
and
now
play
over there.
for the team.
Jeez, dude.
But yeah, we don't get to see them play, so hopefully he's playing good. But I don't know if he's informed, so we can only judge from what we see over here in the Serie A.
No, he
And
knows how to play in
Scamacca
the
has
heat.
been playing solid.
That's all we can say.
That's for damn sure.
It's gonna
But
be
for
hot
this
for
one,
the World
surprising
Cup.
again with Atalanta, who have been playing better, did get 12 shots, only two on target. Right, Verona actually had more shots on target than Atalanta, but Atalanta dominated possession. Uh, Good goal from Zappacosta gives them the 1-0 victory in this one, but they keep rolling. So realistically, I think they could probably still make a run for even the Champions League right now, in the position that they're in.
You think so?
Yeah, sitting in the seventh spot, 4 points away from Roma,
Yeah, but
like
it's
7 points
seven
away
points
from
away from
Juve.
Como. I don't think they're gonna make that, man. Like it's just Como and Juve would have to lose like 3 times. Two losses and a draw.
We play Como. Inter play Como once. Inter still
Do
have
you?
to play Roma
I thought
once.
Como only had like small teams left. You play
No, I'm
Como in
pretty
the
sure we
Copa.
play Como.
Yeah, in the Copa. Not right?
No, no. Match day 32.
Oh, you
Como
do?
Inter. Yep.
Uh,
Inter have Roma and then Como coming up.
yeah, but Juve got the toughest schedule, I think, like remaining. Oh,
Those are pretty two tough games coming up for Inter. It's just gonna get interesting. Inter obviously, Juve obviously play against Milan.
that's a
That's
toughie.
still a good matchup to come.
Yeah.
That's coming up fairly soon as well, but it's gonna get even more interesting because some of these teams are playing against each other. So it's gonna be, I think, like a back and forth, some shuffle. I mean, who knows? Maybe Inter get knocked out of that first position, which that would be just the cherry on top of a disappointing season if they, after having that much of a lead, if they fumble
That
the
would
ball
be, yeah, that would be unheard of.
and fail to secure the title.
That would be unheard of. You know that Como
Hey,
has now become the best defense in the league?
not surprised.
They've gotten better than Roma. Roma now allowed 23 goals and Como has only allowed 22. Interesting.
Tell you, bro. Like,
What the
Como.
hell, bro? But what I ask myself is, Como? How? Anyways, next match. Bologna
Good coach
and...
and good decisions.
True that. Bologna
Lazio
Lazio.
Bologna,
Yes.
the roller coaster team in Serie A
Both roller coaster
with
teams.
Sari at the helm. Sari's the one like pulling the thing to make the roller coaster go, smoking his cigarette.
Yeah, he's the conductor.
Uh, two 2-0 victory for them on this one against Bologna, which again even worse.
Ain't no
I wouldn't
way.
say roller coaster, like they were a roller coaster that crashed and burned, and and every now and then like Castro
Italiano more than a
scores
roller
a goal or
coaster.
one.
Like his team is more like a bungee jump. He's like,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
just been
what the hell?
terrible second half of the season for them.
Yeah,
Kenneth Taylor playing awesome for Lazio.
got the brace some minutes
The
apart.
last couple of matches as well. Got a brace on this one for them. So Bologna, not surprised again. Not very hopeful for them for the rest of the season. Luckily for them, they're sitting in the nice spots. I don't think they're in any danger of potentially getting relegated. But
No,
I wouldn't be surprised if they drop a couple of more spots on the table, especially considering how tight it is, right?
it.
From like seventh
You
down
know
to
what?
13.
It kind of feels like they don't have anything to play for anymore. Like because like you said, they're too far away from the relegation zone, like 15 points for me to feel like they're gonna drop that many. You would have to lose 5 out of 8 games, which I mean, not impossible, but they're
Mm.
also 12 points away from any type of champions or European spots. So I don't know that they have anything to really fight for except like pride in the shirt and winning every match, but they're not going anywhere.
Blown pen for Solini on this one. At least better shot than than Locatelli's pen. But good stop
Socatelli can't shoot
by the
penalties,
keeper.
bro. He sucks. He's Socatelli. He's not Locatelli. Socatelli. He's gonna suck for Italy too.
But this is kind of a similar situation where it's like, dude, you have like Santi Castro on the fucking pitch. Let Santi take the freaking pen. Like, he's a striker. That this is like
I
literally
just,
what they've been doing since they were
yeah,
like 7 years old.
yeah. I
Right?
don't understand why somebody other than like a striker or unless you have Pirlo, like Pjanic, you know what I mean, on your team, then okay, you let them shoot it.
Yeah,
But
like a CM that usually has like a rocket,
yeah,
or
like
is very or has the finesse shot like
Like
undialed.
Chalanoglu,
Yeah, yeah.
Pirlo, Pjanic, somebody like that. Okay, let them, Modric, somebody like okay, you could take it, but Socatelli, why would you? Why? I don't get it. All right,
Yeah,
anyways,
Orsolini, well, he scored some some very nice goals,
that's a good
but
striker. I mean, he's a good
he
striker.
started the season well, right? But hasn't been playing as Bologna has dropped in
Yeah,
form. Orsolini, same. He was injured for a little bit though, but yeah, that not the best pen for him. Even though it was better than Locatelli's effort.
yeah,
Just Bologna just struggling to create much. Two nice goals again from Taylor, who has been playing great for them.
yeah,
And good to see Lazio getting another win, but they're just so inconsistent that still sitting on eighth spot, just 1 point. This puts them actually. Bologna dropped. We're ahead of Lazio and dropped in this one.
yeah,
Sitting what 7 points behind Atalanta. This is where I feel you have that split in the table
yep.
from that seventh position, seventh spot up from Atalanta up to Inter at the top of the table, and then Lazio going down. Right, that's where that other battle starts.
Yeah, that's true. I think Lazio, Bologna, Sassuolo, and Udinese are currently like in a twilight zone, like where they're kind of safe. They're not going down, but they're not going up. So it's like you're not gonna get in Europe, but you're not gonna down. You're not gonna get relegated. So I think that's I'm calling it. They're in the safe zone. They're in the twilight zone. They're in like the purgatory. They know where they're gonna be next year. They don't have to do anything. Nothing's gonna happen. Just keep doing what you've been doing. You're not going to Europe. You're not going to Serie B. So that's it. It's like those four teams: Lazio, Bologna, Sassuolo, Udinese. I mean, good job to
Meh.
their managers. They stayed there. It's the May, yeah, the May season. If you
Yeah, but I would say for all four, probably underachieved this season as well. So
Not all four, Sassuolo is just promoted, so Sassuolo is
no, well, true,
over
except with the exception of Sassuolo.
overachieving. The other
Yeah,
three, except for Udinese is a mid-table team.
Bologna definitely underachieved.
You
I would say
know,
Udinese
I don't think
kind
Udinese
of
was
underachieved a
aiming for
little.
European football, like or as as an objective. They're probably saying like safe mid-table position
I think they
is
actually
all
got
we
the
could hope for.
squad. Maybe they need a couple of more pieces moving
Experience
into
and
next
depth
season,
is
but
what they're missing, I think. in that squad. It's a lot of young
And
talent.
Saniolo to stay healthy, right? To
Yeah,
keep Davis, to keep Atta, right? To keep some other good players that have been playing well.
yeah. Some of those are
But
good.
I
Yeah,
like that Udinese squad.
I like it too. It's very fun to watch too. Like very physical and very fast and great counterattacks. Just inconsistent defensively. That's the problem they have.
Then another team that has been fun to watch as of late has been Roma.
Yeah,
Not surprising, not a lot of goals on this one, right? Even with Milan being on fire for them, still don't have that kind of a world class or anything close of a number nine, which is what they really lack at Roma up front. But
yeah.
Milan has been playing also. Rubinho Vaz scoring the
Rubinho.
only goal for Roma on this one. Another good, talented player, but again, not another number nine.
Yeah,
It's just been Gasperini this season. This season, kind of making do with what he has. But we were talking about the fact that Juventus kind of haven't been able to figure that out on their Spalletti. He keeps trying to fit that square peg into the round hole, trying to play Locatelli instead of just changing the formation.
just
So
yeah,
props to Gasperini on this one, at least for making it work, right?
yeah.
And being where he is right now, which surprising not having that many options up front,
Yeah, it's an amazing job for a first year manager to go in
especially
and
defensively.
yeah, and I mean it's the first year he's at that team. He hasn't had a chance to have a transfer window where he can make the changes he wanted after having a year of looking at the squad and being able to see where the actual weaknesses are. Because it's one thing to study the team from outside when you are watching it, right? And maybe they're out there. You think they might offer you the job. You do your own scouting. You watch a lot of matches, right? And you try to be ready for day one. But nothing compares to actually being there in practice, in the dressing room, day after day with the players, understanding their personal quirks and personalities and what motivates them, that type of thing. That makes a big difference. And somebody like Gasparini, you give him some time. Now he's gonna have a summer to get ready. He could either make a lot of great moves or make a lot of mistakes, and then it doesn't work and he gets fired. But he's gonna have a say into who comes in. He's gonna have a better informed opinion, and if he gets the right players, it could be scary too, because if we remember when Atalanta was at their best, it was a little bit under this dude. This guy can attack if he gets the attackers. Is my point. It's not just good defensively. Gasperini's good at setting up offensive systems as well.
He's done an awesome job with Roma,
He
right? Which
has.
shows that yeah, while it wasn't Atalanta's success wasn't all linked to Gasperini. Same Gasperini's success wasn't all linked to Atalanta because right now he's
Yeah.
proving himself at Roma, right, with a nice kind of period of time
Mm-hmm.
and length of time of him being there.
Yep.
Uh, right, defensively, right, have been awesome. Still, with not having like a very solid and consistent number nine, they've been able to get results.
Yeah.
So
They
the fact
do
that
have
they're still
outstanding
in the fight,
players.
it's pretty good.
Yeah. I feel like
They've
some.
dropped a couple of spots recently, right? But
Yeah.
still well in contention for the Champions League
Yeah.
and Europe.
I feel some of their players like Roma don't get enough like credit for the quality they bring. Like for example, Indica, Cristante, Kone. You know, we talk about them a lot here, right? But I don't think they get enough like overall kind of like credit. Like everybody talks about Malen because he's scoring, but like
No,
the
Cocone
work,
has been amazing
yeah,
for them
Cristante's been really good.
all season. Their entire back line. Pellegrini is also
Yeah,
an awesome player, which I hope they don't lose him at a free. And
Wesley is
if
great.
they do, I hope he joins Inter.
Yeah,
I could certainly use him.
yeah, they have a
But
really
they have
good players.
a ton of great player. Wesley is another one that has been a big surprise, right? I
Solid,
didn't know much about him coming into the season, and he's been solid.
he's been really good.
Not sure if he's gonna play in the World Cup, but
Probably
he's
not.
certainly a great talent and pickup for Roma.
Yeah,
Great addition.
absolutely, absolutely.
And then that's it, right? We don't have to talk about the last match of match day 30. We can wrap
Dude,
things
what
up,
do
move
you
on to
mean?
Italy.
Fiorentina pulled out a crazy upset.
Was it really an upset playing against Inter?
Yes, it was.
As expected, right?
Inter
Inter
scored in the
and
first
Fiorentina
minute, man.
drew
We thought it
in
was gonna
40
be a
seconds.
blowout.
If you and honestly, I probably paid attention to the first 40 seconds and then probably tuned out for the rest of the game. I was actually even like doing some other stuff and just keeping it in the background because I knew what
You
was
were a
coming.
terrible tifoso.
Great goal from Pio in literally 40 seconds into the match from a Barella cross. And if that's all you saw, no, because that would be disrespectful to Fiorentina, who
They
created
fought.
a lot of opportunities,
Yeah.
right? Had a lot of great chances, especially Moise Kane to get on the scoreboard was very unlucky and unfortunate not to score in some of the opportunities that they have.
Yeah, and they need the points.
But they made it a battle. Inter again, just being the team that has scored the most in Serie A. It's funny how sometimes this team just kind of forget how to score goals. You remove one piece, like take away like Lautaro, and it's like
Yeah,
they don't know how to play
that's crazy.
all of a sudden.
That tells you how important Lautaro actually is. Like when you take him out and you see that sometimes they just find it hard to find that space that breaks down like the last third of the defense. Because other
It's just
teams,
that
they
nobody
just
can do what he
yeah,
does at
yeah,
Inter.
exactly, exactly.
Turam can't do it. Boni can't do
Nobody,
it.
nobody.
Esposito can't do it.
He just has
And right
like a
now, what I
different
think is happening
vision.
right now is Esposito is proving that he's better than Turam, but we
He
have
played better in this match
identified
for sure.
that we don't have an actual backup for Lautaro.
You don't, you don't.
So Inter need like a Santi Castro from Bologna.
Somebody, somebody with some. The thing about Lautaro, bro, is like he's very unique. He reminds me a little bit, not the same style of player, but like his approach to the game is kind of like Carlos Tevez because he is
Now I was about to
a
say, yeah,
physical striker. He fights
and
against
his motor,
players
he's
for
always
the
going.
ball and he's always
Yeah,
fighting. That's what I like about him. He reminds me of that style of play. Different because Tevez was like more explosive and I think Lautaro is like smarter. So it's like Lautaro is like more tactical, I feel. But that energy
and
that he
that
gives
Tevez
you.
was a lot faster as well than
Yeah, but
Lautaro.
Tevez was like more
But
explosive
it's a great
and like a
comparison, right? Two
yeah.
players coming from Argentina, especially with the type of players that we're used to seeing come from Argentina.
Yeah.
Certainly, players that don't fit that mold,
They
right? That they're their own kind of
right. They don't look like the
like
big guy, but they can rough up the big guys. Like they'll put their body in the middle and they'll push a defender like that. Versus like in the modern game where we have so many floppers, like so many strikers that just get touched and they go flying.
mm,
Players like Lautaro, like that, like they make all the difference because they will go up against the defender and just put their body in the middle and just keep the ball and then dish it out for somebody or score themselves because they also have that ability with both
yeah,
legs.
but also the leadership aspect. I think
That's big
he's
because he
also seeing
captain.
that with Lautaro off the pitch, like from a leadership standpoint, they lose a lot as well, especially having an unexperienced coach in Serie A like Kiwu is. Yes, he's had great results because he were handed the keys to a Ferrari, bro. It's not that hard
Yeah,
to run a race when you're literally handed the keys to the best freaking team and club,
yeah, that's true.
right? And roster. Um, so it's been disappointing all around. I think it's since the whooping in the Champions League final, they still haven't recovered. I think there are some players like Lautaro who you could tell that has no sway or impact on them, but there's some players that just haven't recovered their confidence and are not playing with the same at the same level. Like Barella's not playing at the same level. A lot of players are not playing at the same level, and some of them that you would think would step up, like Barella, who wears the armband when Lautaro's not on the pitch and Chalanoglu's not on the pitch. Right, you don't see him. No, they don't communicate. He's not barking orders at people, like telling other players what to do, like Lautaro's consistently doing, leading with example. Right, we talked about Lautaro. They're winning 2-0 and in the 82nd minute and he's putting pressure up top and sliding to try to recover a ball. It's like is your 30-year-old captain doing this? How are you
That's
not gonna get motivated?
exactly that's the mentality. That's what makes the difference, and that's why when he's missing, sometimes Inter find it hard to break down opponents because sometimes it's one of those key plays that he makes in that 87 minutes still running at people that that breaks
Yeah,
down the
or a game
defense.
that's 1-0, like a game like this is 1-0. He puts pressure on the keeper, on the last defender. They make a mistake. He passes to somebody or scores an easy goal. Then we're two up,
And
right?
it's over. And
Just
it's now it's
drop everybody,
yeah.
drop back, and let's just like close up shop, right?
Yeah.
It changed. He has the ability to be that game changer,
Yeah.
and it's what Inter have been lacking. They've been lacking creativity. They've been having just that player that can read what's happening, not like Turam and Pio that stay both standing right one next to the other, not knowing what to do. Lautaro will read that and he'll go outside. He'll go grab the ball himself. He'll
Yeah.
tell other players to move positions. And I think that's what they're lacking, right? They have two similar players in Pio and Turam that have shown that they can't play well together,
They're
and
just
mainly it's
yeah, they're
because
just similar
Turam
type
has
of
been
player.
struggling.
Yeah, so it's just
And
a
Turam
similar
has
type
been
of player.
struggling, has not been the same this season. Again, I feel Esposito has been playing better than him.
It's fair.
So it's going to be interesting to see what happens, especially if Inter drop the ball and don't win the Serie A title this season. They're more than likely going to sell one or two key players. I think Turam right now is at the top of the list, which sucks because we probably could have gotten a lot more from him last season. Um, but he's definitely in the bubble right now. He's struggling to score and just not giving it. You can't see the effort either. So, which is what pisses me off even more. It's like if you're trying, you're giving it your all, and I can see it, but you're hey things are not falling your way. Think or you're just being unlucky. That's one thing. But if you're not, if I don't see the effort, you can fuck off.
Yeah, I mean, Turam has had a definitely not one of his best seasons. He's been really inconsistent. He's had a few good games, but that's not enough when you're starting for one of the biggest teams in the
Yeah,
world.
bro.
You know what I mean?
Like
So
this is your opportunity, right?
yeah,
Your captain and leading scorer goes down, and you're
somebody
supposed
has
to kind
step
of
up.
grab the reins, right? And
Yeah,
it's like, hey, next man up. Now I'm the best striker we have. I'm gonna freaking represent. I'm gonna be more productive. It's been the opposite. He's
yeah.
kind of just fading to the background.
And the other thing is like
But
he
let's
also
see.
gets a chance to play in his side because Turam is right-footed and he usually plays on the right side, which is not ideal for him. But and then you get a chance to actually, I don't know, man. You got to make the most out of those. He's too young, and too physically he's too physically gifted to be just half-assing it. And now it feels like he's just half-assing it actually.
Yeah, I felt that way for a while. Unfortunate. Hey, but props to Fiorentina. Right, I think obviously Inter have been struggling without Lautaro. That's for damn certain. But props to Fiorentina. They created a ton of opportunities on this one, and it was surprising because the way they started the game, especially conceding 40 seconds in, and they almost conceded like just 1 or 2 minutes after that. I
That's
felt
true.
like, God,
Yeah,
this is gonna be a Como match. It's gonna be an ass whooping.
I thought it was gonna be a
So
blowout
props to
when I saw the first
Fiorentina
minute too.
for turning it around. And now it's interesting because now you're seeing Inter drop points against Fiorentina, who are struggling and fighting to not get relegated, right? And they have
Yeah,
Roma coming up, and then they have Como after that. So game on, game on. Now you have Milan, you have Napoli up there as well,
yeah,
that are well in contention. Como, dark horse. Who the hell knows? With 24 points up for grabs, if they can get a win against Inter, depending on what their schedule looks like for the rest of the season, they might make a run for it. So
yeah.
gonna
But
be interesting.
for all you know, because Inter played Roma, Inter might win that, and then if just all you need Napoli to do you a favor and you're back, 9 points up. It's very easy for that to happen. Napoli play at home against Milan. Inter play at home against Roma. If there's a match day for you to cement your lead again, it will be this one. So
Nah,
let's
no
see what they
cement.
bring. 9 points again. That's
I
that's
think
big
Inter
lead.
for the past couple of match days, and based on your analogy, they've been wearing slippers covered in dog shit because they've been slipping.
Yeah,
They're
well,
slipping down.
Roma is not like a huge offensive team usually, so I think Inter
Yeah,
are
but
gonna
Inter are
close.
struggling to score. Let's see if Lautaro comes back. We at least got Dumfries back. We got Shalanoglu back. But it's been pretty sad the past couple of match days. Honestly, ever since the loss to Wolo in the Champions League, it's just been kind of downhill for Inter.
That's
But
unfortunate.
let's see what happens. But before wrapping things up, real quick, wanted to talk a little bit about the upcoming Italy playoff match against Ireland. Gattuso released it a while back, right? The list, but interesting. I wanted to talk through it with you. I don't know if you have the list in front of you, right? Kind of
I can pull it
start
up.
looking to see if Locatelli is actually gonna
Yeah,
start,
yeah, he is. I mean, he is in the list, but I don't know.
right? It all depends. It's all riding on Tonali, right? We know if Tonali is healthy, right, definitely is gonna be Bare and Tonali starting in the middle. Cristante has been playing well for Roma, so he's a great option.
I think he's gonna start. So if you asked me, right, who I would play in that position if Tonali's not there, well, I mean, I think Cristante would have started regardless. It depends on the formation that Gattuso is gonna play, right? But Cristante should be in. He's like the only other big defensive midfielder we have. I think Cristante should start. Locatelli should be on the bench. Barella, Cristante, Tonali if they're healthy. Otherwise, Barella, Cristante, and anybody except Locatelli, like Frattesi. Barella, Cristante, Frattesi might be too light, but
I
Barella,
thought we would have
Cristante.
he would take a couple of more
Yeah.
options
I
in the
mean, if you
midfield,
play,
right?
okay,
But
let me just give him the benefit of the doubt. If if Tonali can't play and you can have Locatelli play Mezzala. So if you can play Cristante in the middle as the regista and the midfielder in the center, and then or Barella there, right? If you can have Barella or Cristante, which probably Cristante is he's bigger, so I feel like he fit better in front of the defense. So I would
I
play
think
Crist.
If Tonali doesn't play, probably Barella's gonna be the one to fill his role
Yeah, that's what I'm
because
saying. So you put
he's does it at Inter when
so
for Chalanoglu.
I would play Cristante, Barella, and Frattesi because Barella and Frattesi played together already at Inter. And then if you play Cristante behind them, he could play like a Chalanoglu type role. Uh, but Cristante is more defensive, so he can play in front of the defense and actually help you defend, and then he's also good at like getting the ball and passing it. All he has to do is grab it, give it to Varela or Fratesi to start like the attack, right? Uh, if you play Locatelli there, you get like a you get like an unsafe regista who's gonna
We'll
lose
get
the
a
ball.
Locatelli brace against Ireland. No, that's not gonna happen.
Bro, he's not. I hope he doesn't play. I hope Gattuso's like, no, not you, bro. Like, not you.
But I was surprised, right? Because not a lot of options there. Obviously, we know, right?
Hmm.
Barella, Tonali are shoo-ins if healthy. If Tonali is healthy, Cristante, I would say, would get my next kind of nudge, and then Pisili has been playing good for
But he's
Roma.
light too. He's light.
But yeah,
We
yeah,
need heavy. We need like
yep.
strong. We
Especially versus Ireland, we
yeah.
got some
Like
pretty solid and physical midfield players. But yeah, I thought we're going to have a little bit more options. I think defensively is going to be interesting, right? Because Bastoni has been injured as well. Bongiorno has been playing well, but has made a ton of mistakes in the back line for Napoli.
yeah.
Calafiore is solid, but obviously he's not a CB.
Calafiori gonna play on the
Cambiaso,
left.
mm,
I think
mm,
Calafiori gonna play on the left. Cambiaso or in the middle. So he, that's the thing. It
no,
depends on how he plays. If he plays with three defense.
Calafiori. I would put probably Calafiori instead of Bastoni
No, but I
if
think they're gonna
Bastoni's
play
not
together.
healthy.
Well, if Bastoni can't play, then that's different.
Because if Bastoni can play, right? Because Di Marco's gonna start for sure.
Listen, I don't know what Gatti's doing there. Like that, I would send him back home and bring somebody else. Like maybe he wants to use
I
him
don't.
as
I
a
don't mind. I
striker.
got these, dude. I know that if you're like one goal behind with 5 minutes to
That,
go, he's
see,
either gonna score a
see
goal or
what I
he's gonna
said.
punch somebody in the face.
See what I said? Like if you need a striker, like if you gotta put him in the score.
Yeah, he's gonna
Yeah,
score a goal or
yeah.
he's gonna get red carded because he's gonna
Yeah.
punch one of the other team's key
Yeah.
players in the face.
Yeah. Yeah. I see. I like him more than Locatelli, but I just don't know like why he's there. Like we have a
Yeah,
lot
no,
of.
five minutes left, one goal down. You bring in Locatelli, I'm gonna like throw my shoe at you. Like, what the fuck are
Yeah.
you doing?
Exactly.
If you bring in Gatti, I'm cool with that.
Okay. You know what? You know what? Like I was asking, depending on what formation he's gonna play. But if you look at the team that he called up, you know exactly what formation he's gonna play. Because the reason I say that is he's got 11. He got 11 defenders. He's got 11 defenders, and he got
Yeah,
6 midfielders, and then seven forwards. So if you know that means that he's gonna be a three-man midfield because you always bring two of each, and so in a three-man midfield, I hope it's gonna be Cristante, Barella, and Tonali. If Tonali's not healthy, Locatelli could play a mezzala, and he'd be pretty decent at it. Frattesi could play there. That would be my pick
mm,
because he plays with Barella at Inter, and so you already got that synergy. So
I don't know.
the defenders is gonna be five, bro. Defenders is gonna be three in the middle. So it is
Yeah,
gonna
because you're
be
gonna have Di Marcos and who's
yeah,
gonna be
because you're gonna have
on the other
Dimarco on the
wing.
left, probably Cambiaso on the right. Let me see who else is there. Yeah, probably.
Palestra has been playing awesome, but
Yeah,
does
but
Palestra
but
play on the right?
Cambiaso's got more experience. Like he's gonna play Cambiaso on the right. He's gonna play Dimarco on the left, and then the three middle ones is where I want to see what he's gonna do. Probably
Mancini has. I would put Mancini in there. He has been solid for
yeah.
Roma. I think.
He's a lefty. I think depends on where he's gonna play. So Bastoni's a
Coppola,
lefty.
I don't even know. I haven't seen
No, he's
Paris
not.
FC play.
He's good, but he's not. He's young too. Like he's just kind of a youngster. I think he's gonna
And I
play.
think it's like the only right like traditional CB is Buongiorno, the only other option, right? Because Bastoni is really he plays CB, but on a
Oh,
three man defensive
yeah,
line.
Scalvini plays a CB too.
No, because I didn't see
Yeah,
Scalvini. Yeah, but Scalvini hasn't played a ton either. He came back from injury, has played the
only
last couple of matches
recently.
for Atalanta,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
he's
Listen, my bet would be that he brought Gatti because he's not sure Scalvini could play 100%. I think he would play Mancini, Calafiori, Buongiorno, Di Marco, and Cambiaso. I think that's gonna be the five that he's gonna put on.
uh, Politano. Politano's there as well. So Politano may play the right side, Di Marco on the left side. That would actually be good because you got some
Politano's on the
good
list. I
attack.
don't see. I don't see Politano on the list.
Yeah, he's on the attackers.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but that would mean he would play like on the right, off to the right side.
Yeah, more kind of a winger.
But I think Cambiaso's gonna play there because he can defend too. You know. So
Yeah,
it's gonna be
probably.
that. It's gonna be that, and then
Crazy to see Chiesa back on the list. Although I don't mind it because he's still freaking amazing anytime
yeah,
he gets on the pitch. Whenever
yeah.
he's at now play for Liverpool as well. Pio has been playing awesome. Right, Moise King. I think even with his score drought, he got into some great positions on that match against Inter. He was very unlucky not to get on the scoring sheet. I think he's kind of a different player also when he plays for the national team.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if we still see kind of Fretegi and Keane and Moisekin getting the nod to start up front. But it's good that we definitely have some options because Esposito has been playing well. Scamacca has been playing awesome for Atalanta, right? Raspadori, good kind of a Swiss Army knife to have just in case, depending on what you need up front, right? Can play several different positions.
Yeah.
Same with Chiesa, right?
Chiesa's
Also, kind of
actually
one of
out.
those
Like I
players.
think he's gonna be injured and he's not gonna be able to play. So Cambiagi
Mm.
was brought in for him.
Who they
Unfortunately,
brought in? Cambiagi.
Cambiagi, yeah,
Been playing well.
Nicolo
I'm
Cambiagi.
surprised. I would have liked to see what is it, Martesagi.
Bartesaghi, yeah, the Milan player.
I think he's had a pretty solid season.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure we're gonna see him on the national team
pretty
moving
soon.
forward. But he's been having a great season for Milan. He's been at least one of the surprises because Estupinian started off well, but then started struggling,
You know who I would
and
like
he's
to see
picked up the
blow up,
slack.
like if he's healthy, because they called him up, but Spinazzola. I would love if he could find some form, because he has been incredible in the past. He has a lot of real actual talent, and he's like a shifty player. He can create things. I
Dude, and
like him.
honestly, in these types of like, I don't mind like seeing like players like that. I like um Jesus, not a Bernardeschi. Oh my God, from Sassuolo, Berardi. Seeing like a
Oh yeah, I
Berardi,
would have liked him on the team for sure, because
like
he's the
that would have
kind of
been a
player
good
that you
option.
just throw in a tight game, and he'll take on his defender and do some
And
shit.
he's a veteran. He knows
Yeah,
to read like the flow of the game, what the team needs, whether to be a facilitator or to
yeah.
try to look to score.
And he's
Can do
played,
both.
and he's been a
And
teammate of
yeah,
Locatelli and Frattesi before, so as well.
granted, he's been injured, right? He hasn't been available, right, for kind of a lengthy period of time. But again, these it's gonna be interesting, right? It's two playoff matches.
Bro.
So again, it would be extremely sad if Italy miss out on their third consecutive World Cup, and something I would have not imagined
Yeah.
10, 50 years ago for sure. Um, but we can only watch and be hopeful. Let's see what their Gattuso and company are able to pull off again. I hope that Tonali is able to play because if Tonali doesn't play, I think that's a huge loss
Okay, my
for
prediction is
Italy.
Italy's gonna score 3 goals if Locatelli doesn't start, and P. Esposito is gonna score one of them.
And if Locatelli starts,
We're gonna lose. It's gonna be a Northern Ireland 2-1 victory for Northern Ireland
oh,
if Locatelli
l-
starts.
let's see what happens. Let's see what goes down. We'll certainly let you know about it right here in Serie Addicts. We appreciate you guys taking the time as always. Thank you for tuning in, Marco Romano and Tito Yan. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace out.
Yes, sir.